So there's a method of gardening called chaos gardening, and chaos gardening is basically just letting Mother Nature do work for you. You just throw seeds around, disregard spacing, really just basically neglect your garden. And a lot of gardeners really like this because it's a very hands-off approach to gardening, and you're letting plants just kind of fend for themselves and letting the fittest survive. Now, it's not necessarily a gardening method that I personally prescribe to all that often because I like nice, neat rows. I do like the aesthetic of a well-kept garden, but there is a time and a place for it. And one of those times and places is behind our shop. So when we pack seeds, oftentimes what will happen is seeds will fall on the ground, or seeds will, like if a packet rips and it gets damaged, there's not really a whole lot we can do with it. So rather than throw the seeds out, we throw the seeds on the side of the building. And Brandon, one of our lead seed packers here at MIgardener, started doing this in the spring. And we call this Brandon's Chaos Garden. And it's so cool because the amount of productivity over here, having done nothing, we didn't rototill this, we haven't fertilized this, heck, we don't even water it. It's just out here, living at its own, on its own devices, and it's thriving. It's absolutely crazy. So I wanted to show you this chaos garden just to give you guys some inspiration that you don't have to always be so hands-on. You don't always have to be micromanaging your garden, and sometimes just leaving things up to chance can result in a pretty productive garden. All right, so just starting off here, we have some brassicas. Now these look to be like rutabagas or turnips. These seeds were just thrown out here and they're doing so well. There's almost no pest damage on them and they're just growing really great. We didn't till this up, and Brandon just threw these seeds out here just to see what would happen. And I'll be honest, like, we might not get actual turnips, but the turnip greens are just as delicious as the actual turnips are. Now coming over here, we've got our pumpkin patch. Now this pumpkin patch was started just from maybe 6 or 7 pumpkin seeds that were thrown out here that sprouted. And the amount of pumpkins we have is absolutely outrageous. Like, check this out. And there's also some butternut squash growing in here that I didn't even see. That, like, look at this. We got some gorgeous little butternut squash happening. Crazy. But like, look at the size of this pumpkin. Look at this pumpkin here. There's one more over here. They're starting to turn orange. But like, these are absolutely huge pumpkins. And we didn't do anything. We did absolutely nothing, you guys. There's nothing that we did. We didn't till this up, nothing. There's some radishes here from the springtime. These radishes are going to seed, and they are providing forage for insects, but also, like, you easily could harvest the seed pods. They taste like almost like green bean meets a radish. Coming back here, there's some corn in the back. There's also a lot of pole beans that have grown up over top that are climbing up almost like Three Sisters. The Three Sisters gardening approach was you got your squash, you got your corn that grows up, and then the corn becomes support for the beans. Now, the corn is kind of small. Like, I don't suspect much is going to happen, but we got corn growing. That's just crazy because it's not really showing any signs of nutrient deficiencies. It's super healthy, and if it was given more time to grow, we might actually end up getting something. But we got pole beans down here, just like growing all over the place. We got some amaranth growing right here. There's some more, I don't know, radishes or something like that. And just all in here, there's so much. Like, there's a zucchini in here. This is crazy. There's zucchini right over here that's growing. Just next to it, it's got this next to the gas inlet on the side of the building. There's another pumpkin over here. If you wanted some zucchini, this is a Bianca di Tresti zucchini. It's just outrageous. There's pole beans growing all throughout here. It's just absolutely insane. There's another butternut squash in there. You can see how healthy all these squash are. Just they're living their best life over here. And again, we didn't till this, we didn't fertilize this, we didn't water this, literally nothing. Nothing was done to this. Come on over this way here. We have some more, there's a lot more kind of pole beans and stuff growing. But there's also, just another absolutely massive pumpkin. I mean, look at the size of this pumpkin. This thing is huge, absolutely huge. Just over here, we got a crookneck squash. This is a summer crookneck squash here, like, unbelievable. And then over here, look at this, growing up the grill. We have a grill here for when we do some office cookouts and stuff. There's some pole beans. Like, check out the pole beans. Look at this. If you come in close, these pole beans just decided they'd just grow up the grill, use the grill as support, and like, you've got pole beans. Just tons of pole beans. growing just, again, just up a grill, like, nothing to see here. They're just using that support. There's a couple that have dried. They have good viable seeds, but it's absolutely insane. Back here, there's some thistle that's growing. We do sell thistle seed. It's a great herb. Making thistle tea is super beneficial, but there's some thistle seed that got thrown back there. It's just crazy to see all of this amazing production that's growing that literally it's just seeds being thrown here, haphazardly, nonetheless, like no intention on anything producing. All right, check this out. Over here, even more pole beans growing up. All these pole beans are just thriving on the side of this building. They're using just about everything they can find to get support. And I think oftentimes, like what this serves as an example of is the fact that as gardeners, we really like to interject our thoughts and opinions as to what plants need. And we really like to just assume, or I guess presume, well, our plants need this to do well, or my plants need this currently to do better. And oftentimes what it really just takes is you taking a step back and realizing that like the plants are going to take care of themselves. Now, granted, this is not aesthetic. Like this is maybe to some people, but it's not necessarily aesthetic. Like it does not scratch that part of my brain at all. It's definitely chaotic, right? But I have enough knowledge of what's going on here to at least take some, I take some stuff from this, right? As a gardener, I look at this and I'm like, wow, my garden takes some work. We've done a lot of things to reduce work, but something like this genuinely doesn't take any work at all. I mean, as you can see, it's literally in the worst possible location, and we don't irrigate this. We haven't tilled this, haven't fertilized it, and you can tell. Like, look at this. You guys, look at how big these green bean leaves are. That's one of 3 leaves on a leaf set. They're behemoth. They're clearly not struggling, right? And you just had this amazing relationship going on here. And I think it's phenomenal. All right, and just kind of finishing up here with this kind of chaos garden. There's also some kale growing back here. We got some kale. And again, you'll notice like the pest-free nature of it. Like there's no pests on this. There's been nothing sprayed on it. Tastes great. Tastes like kale. Like there's so much happening here. One final thing, I don't know if we're gonna get anything from this. They might be the world's smallest ears of corn, but we did have some corn growing here that Brandon threw out, and I don't even know what variety it is, but we've got some itty bitty little ears of corn. I'm gonna see what we're gonna get from it. So I've got some corn here that it looks like since it's fallen down, the silks have kind of rotted away because it's just not ideal to be that close to the ground. But I'm gonna set that harvest over there. But like, I mean, you can tell from the color it's healthy. Just obviously it wasn't really given a fair shake. But like, look, I mean, that's crazy. That's so nuts. That's so cool. I have no idea what variety of corn this is. A little starchy, but I mean, it's cool. It's just really cool. The fact that this was just thrown out here in the beginning of the season when we were packing seeds for this year, and this is what came from it, I think it's just a testament to chaos gardening, what is possible. And we have done chaos gardening. We have a video, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. We took one of our raised beds. We threw about 5,000 seeds in it to see what would happen. And it was absolutely incredible. Again, it gave me anxiety. That's just the gardener in me, right? That's my type of gardening that I don't really go for. But I wanted to see what would happen, and I was amazed with the results. You can go check out that video. Yeah, and again, hopefully you were inspired by this. Hopefully it taught you something. I know for me, it just taught me that I don't always need to be micromanaging my garden. And sometimes there's some crops you can just plant that are very low maintenance, easy to grow, and they really kind of just grow themselves. So maybe growing more of those plants in your garden, if you want more of a hands-off garden, might be a wise decision. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. Take care. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider checking this one out. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you so much for your viewership, because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's free. Consider doing that. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, rain or shine. And if you need any garden tools, supplies, or seeds, check out MIgardener.com. We got you covered. See you guys in the garden. Bye.